My name is Sharon McDonald, and I am honored to be here with my dear friend Renee, who is going to be sharing with us a little bit about oregano. And I am really happy because oregano is one of those essential oils that people are either super fearful of, or they don't really understand it and they don't know how to use it. So it's something that they necessarily won't buy. And so Renee is going to be sharing all of her tips and her tricks with you today to be able to help you understand a little bit more about this pretty awesome essential oil. It's got a lot of factors in it that you may not have ever realized, and it's definitely a must-have for every medicine cabinet.
All right, I've been doing using oils for probably about 3 years now, and Sharon is exactly right. Oregano stayed in my box and never was used until I used some hummus or I just flavored up some kind of dip, and that was it. That's all I did with oregano. So today I'm going to teach you some more that I never even knew that I started using a long time ago now. So I'm using the Oil Magic book that I love, that I just got. And I'm just going to read a couple of things. The top uses, it's a bacterial and viral infection. It can be used for warts, which we all kind of knew, warts and skin tags. It can be used as, if you have like cough or whooping cough or pneumonia. Arthritis, it's really good for arthritis too. Who knew? And then strep throat, that's what I'm going to talk about. Strep throat and kind of the congestion part of your everyday. So Sunday I woke up and I had a little bit of a scratchy throat. And I don't know if it's allergies, I don't know if it's a sore throat coming on, but I was going to deal with it all the way through. So what I ended up doing is I learned this on oil camp, on one of our oil camps that we're doing with another group, is I took my Oregano Touch. So this is already diluted, so I don't have to worry about diluting it. And I just opened it and put it straight on where I had my itchy throat. And I didn't know that you could actually use this for any kind of bacterial infection. I thought, like I said, I only used it for cooking, just to flavoring things. One of the things that you can also do, which I utilize a lot with athletes, is athlete's foot. It's actually, since it's a bacterial and bacterial fighter, you can actually just dilute it because it comes in the 15 ml. You can put it in your hand, put the fractionated coconut oil in your hand, and just rub it on the bottom of your feet. And that will take care of the athlete's foot. Or you can put it in a spray bottle, add some water, shake it up, and then spray your feet too if you don't want to touch feet. So there's a couple ways you can do that. Another cool way to do it is when you are working with a wart or a skin tag. This is a great way to apply it, is take a Q-tip and then just dab it on your Q-tip and then put it right on your skin. If it's a little too hot, put some fractionated coconut on top of it. But I would do neat and see if it's too hot, then definitely dilute it afterwards. If you're working with kids, dilute, because it's too hot for kids. So definitely put some dilution, fractionated coconut oil or any kind of dilution for it. And then here's some other ways. Canker sore, you can use it for parasites, which I'm going to talk about, which is kind of cool too. One other way that you can do this is put it in a spray bottle with warm water, shake it up, and you can spray down the horse's stalls. One of the ladies I was talking about, oregano, uses this on her horses, and she uses it on her hoofs and a couple other places on horses, but what she really used it for was to kill the bacteria down on the walls of the horse stalls and stuff. So she would just spray it, wipe it down, and you could just see all of the black mold coming off of the walls. And she just does this probably once a month, once every 2 months, whenever she needs to put it down. work it down.
That is the most fascinating thing I have ever heard. I actually just got some Ace diffusers to be able to diffuse On Guard in my barn and my chicken coop. But what I'm going to add it to my On Guard now on a regular basis, and we clean the floors with On Guard, but I've never thought about putting oregano. Like, my mind is like, woo, especially when you have multiple animals sharing stalls. This is really critical.
I had no idea until I learned it from Brenda. Brenda was phenomenal on her oil camp videos. So I'm just like sharing her knowledge with you guys, because it's some really cool stuff that who knew you could wear or use oregano in all these areas. So then one other thing I want to make sure that you guys are aware of too is when you do use it for flavoring any kind of spaghetti sauce or hummus or anything like that, a drop might be a little too much. So you just use a toothpick. So you use a toothpick, pop it down, stir it around, and if you need more, you can drop it down again and stir in some more flavoring, because that will give you a little bit of flavoring at a time and not just a wow, big pop, because you can't take that flavoring out. So there's another way. Another way you can do it is you can do it topically, you can do it internally, so you can actually use it in veggie caps as well. And it will help with the bacterial viral infection that you have going on. You can actually ingest it as well and diffuse it. So one of the things that I started doing too is when I had that raspy sore throat on Sunday, I was doing On Guard, breathe in my diffuser, and guess what? I added oregano as well, just to open that up, kill everything. And honestly, I didn't even have it 24 hours because I use this stuff constantly. So there you go, guys. There's my little spiel. And one last thing is, obviously, we want to talk about the emotions on it. This isn't the newest one, but it's the newest one I have. And the negative emotions are negative attachment, prideful, opinionated, stubborn, materialistic. The positive properties are humble, non-attachment, willing, teachable, and flexible. Oregano cuts through the fluff of life and teaches individuals to do the same. It removes blocks, clears negativity, and cuts away negative attachment. Oregano is a powerful oil that may even be described as forceful or intense. So if you're dealing with some kind of emotions on that, throw some of this in your diffuser and let it go, or put it over your heart, or just smell it. So got a lot of good properties, and I hope I helped you open this bottle a lot more, guys.
My little tip is Dr. Winterton is a really great orthopedic surgeon, and he does a lot of orthopedics with oregano and melaleuca in particular, which is tea tree. And when you combine those two, they in surgery, he does it where he will give a roller bottle for post-surgery, pre-surgery, post-surgery, and you roll it around and near the area, and it keeps the biofilm from forming, but it's also anti-inflammatory, which is really, really cool. And so I just, my sister just had surgery, and I made her up a big roller bottle, not a 10 mil. It's a different, I don't remember how many milliliters, like 30 milliliters, I think, is a special order that I did, and filled that with oregano, turmeric, and tea tree, and then fractionated coconut oil. And it's pretty heavy on the oils, but what is nice, oh, and helichrysum. I added that in there because she had a quarter of her bone in her wrist removed, and because it was too long, and so now she has to, I mean, like, it's that a quarter inch of your bone that's what she had sawed off. So I wanted her to be able to heal well and be able to do all the things that she needs to do. But in particular, what it does is it just helps everything heal really, really fast without causing secondary infections. And that is a big deal. And the other thing that I loved about oregano is if someone is acute, it has a high acute pain, and it just will not go away. Sometimes when you add oregano to it, it will decrease the pain. It's a painkiller. And that was a big surprise to me. So I have some athletes that really struggle if it's a chronic condition, and they go and do their athletic, performance on a regular basis, and they're still dealing with this massive pain. So it could be back, it could be knee, it could be shoulder. Those are the three that I deal with the most. And when you add that oregano to copaiba and aroma touch with deep blue on top, you guys, it's been amazing. So just keep that in the back of your mind with that extra. So go ahead and share with us, Renee, what blends well with oregano.
Sure, and I wanted to go off of that too, as well as it's also a muscle relaxer,
Yeah.
but works with muscles as well. So if you're running out of deep blue or aroma touch, or if you're realizing that doesn't help, definitely add oregano. So it's kind of that sneaky oil that does so much that nobody, takes time out to understand what the properties can do for you for it. So
right.
Definitely.
Marjoram is the same way, Renee.
Exactly. Yep. I use marjoram for my restless legs for sure.
Oh, really? I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's on my bedside table for sure. All right, guys. So oregano blends well with peppermint, lavender, basil, rosemary, bergamot or bergamot, however you say it, cypress, cedarwood, and melaleuca.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Alex has a question, Renee. Do you know what the ingredients for a roller bottle for pre-surgery? Okay, it would be the same. And so what I did, also the add to a wound salve. Yes, you can add it to a wound salve. But the roller bottle that I created for her, I took a quarter of the bottle, which I just looked and I just did it. I just did it. So a quarter of the bottle of oregano, because it was a 30 milliliter, so it was pretty big. And it has a big roller bottle on top. And I added a quarter of the bottle of tea tree, and I did a quarter of the bottle of maybe an eighth, but it was between an eighth and a quarter of the bottle of oregano. And then I added a quarter of the bottle of turmeric. So it was very, very heavy in oils, like I had said. It might not need to be that heavy in oils, but she's my sister. And then I added 50 drops of helichrysum, which is almost a half a bottle because there's 85 drops in there. So it was probably half the bottle, about 40 drops of helichrysum. And then fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil. And that is to be applied pre-surgery, just morning and night, but post-surgery 3 to 4 times a day around the area of surgery. And a lot of people are like, yeah, but I've got this big bandage over everything. So you do it below the bandage and above the bandage, and your body's still gonna go. The cool part about oils is they're super smart, and they go where they are needed, right? So they just go to work and get it done. Thank you so much for being here with us, you guys. We're happy to share our tips and tricks. Remember, these are never diagnosis. This is just this is how we use oils in our life, and this is what we've learned. If you have any questions, always reach out to the person that introduced you to essential oils, and always make sure when you're doing medical things that you're working with your practitioner so that they can be advised of what you're doing and have some feedback for you. Thank you so much for being with us. And Renee, always a pleasure to have you. And I love your tips and tricks.